Machines and More. Continued coverage here of Computex 2024. This is take two. Yesterday, I did see the NCase M2 already, and let's just say it was an interesting setting, a little bit different than what we're used to. A little bit of a miscue there with the hotel arrangement. And I'll throw it up on the B-roll because I don't want to let a hilarious moment go to waste. But we're gonna redo this. We're gonna get a little bit better shot of the case, and I do have W360 here to walk us through some of the case features and what you guys can expect, as well as some backstory and explanation as to why the case development took a little bit longer. Because we did see that little bit of a sneak preview of the M2 earlier in the year, and kind of timelines got pushed out a little bit. So we'll just take a look at the case. I think you guys are gonna love this because from what I've seen, the fit, the finish, the quality, everything, every aspect of the case is so much better than the V1 V1.1, which I thought was already a pretty good case, but I think there are some concerns there, and they've further improved on that. So without further ado.
So for this product, we thought about bringing unprecedented compatibility, unprecedented quality at an unprecedented price. And for this reason, it took us a long time, because not only did we have to get the product and improve on what we did with M1 Evo version 1.0 and 1.1, in terms of build quality, stability, and the whole fit and finish, but we also had to scale up manufacturing to the point where we can reduce the small form factor tax. Because one of the things that really bothered me on a personal level is that whenever people talk about small form factor, they always say, oh, there's a high small form factor tax, it's expensive, like it's a nice product. And we also get a lot of feedback from people that do reviews for our product that it's just too expensive. So one of the things I wanted to do is work with the factory that we do have in the supply chain and figure out, can we actually scale up and do something that's more price competitive so that more people can enjoy a premium product. So this is one of the reasons why this product took so long. So to give some high level about this product supports a micro-ATX motherboard, but it also supports an ATX power supply. And on top of that, when you have a micro-ATX motherboard and ATX power supply, you can also fit a 4-slot GPU up to 359 millimeters, which is the longest depth or length for a GPU in the 4000 series coming from NVIDIA. This combination of compatibility at a 15.5 liter size is unprecedented for small form factor. And then we have some announcement coming out regarding the pricing, which we believe will surprise a lot of people, that a fully CNC'd case with anodized finish, well, in this specific scenario, this is a white color special type of finish, which we will not disclose at the moment because we're still working it out if we want to go with this type of white. But an anodized case that's CNC machined with a unibody structure, this will be the first of its type with the compatibility, price, and structural rigidity and more build quality. And this makes it very exciting for us because we really feel like this product will bring more people to small form factor, and we can share what we really like about small form factor in terms of having a really solid, small, very compatible case with more people. So this is one of the reasons why this product is so important to us, and we were working so long to optimize production to make sure everything is just right.
And just a quick follow-up there, sort of the delays, is that related to getting this color? Because it's really hard to describe this without saying just that it looks really, really good. Like it's just a certain level of luster on this white, just a little bit, would you call it an ivory color? Yeah. A little bit, just not pure white, it's off-white. And so did that kind of lead into some of those?
Sure.
Okay.
One of the things that a lot of customers told us that they wanted a white color, and then as some people may know, that you cannot do anodized white color, so you would have to do something called electrophoresis, and that usually increase the price significantly. And this is typically true in mechanical keyboards. You'll see that the price of an electrophoresis keyboard will almost double or 50% increase. So and going back to what we said earlier, we want to make sure we bring a product that can reach more people, which means price is important. And one of the things that we thought about is how can we actually deliver a great white color that's true, like pretty special. That's a very, like, that's at least different enough from what's available out there. So one of the things that, you know, maybe a close-up can show is that there are these stone-like sparkles that's basically on this surface. When I saw this coming out of the factory, I just know I had to have it. Like this color, they told us that this is typically for like home renovation. This is not the type of color that you would use for electronic products. They told us that it's more, you know, like home and you know, kind of a Nordic design. And I told them this is the color I want. I don't know how they came up with this color, but this is the color I want. And hopefully, you know, when the customer gets this product, they can see it just has this natural material / white color stone vibe to it that I really liked. So this color took us some time to get it. And then now we want to spend some time figuring out if we can scale this up so that it can come, so we can actually provide this product that people can actually be able to buy it. So this is the next step for us. But immediately we already figured out how to do the anodizing for black and silver. These are our stable colors. So these will be available right away after we launch. This white color, we still need a little more time because I think a lot of times with production, we're just not sure if we can scale. I'm sure we can make a small batch, you know, for a limited edition, but in terms of actually making it consistently available, that's always been a question mark for some of the more exotic colors. But this color is, when I saw it, I knew this is the color I want.
And you absolutely need to make this one. And I hate to bring up our little adventure yesterday, but you mentioned that this was perfect for like home fixtures.
Yeah.
And we had this in the in a, I guess, would you call it a bathroom, hot tub room? And it was almost perfect there, being on the edge. But yeah, I hope this one comes. Do you want to talk through some of the changes, at least internally, specs, what people can expect, compatibility on this one? What are some of the material quality improvements? Because I actually felt this thing, and it is considerably better.
Right.
And yeah, so what you have to share on that?
One of the things that I thought we didn't do well enough on version 1.0 for the Evo, M1 Evo, or version 1.1 is that we needed to explain to people that a case with 3 different configurations is worth the trade-offs. So one of the things you can see in this case that it's not like a traditional case is because this one, just like the M1 Evo, has 3 configurations. So basically you can do it with a GPU at the top, GPU at the bottom, or a vertical GPU. And whenever you support these 3 configurations, you have to do more cutouts. And the end result of that is that you're gonna have some rigidity issues, which was something we caught with version 1.0. People told us that, you know, if you didn't tighten the screw a certain way or you didn't assemble it a certain way, not only did it have rigidity concerns, but it also, people felt like it wasn't a good experience. So one of the first things I want to do is that we made the motherboard unibody. And if you look at the rails on the motherboard, it supports all the features that you expect from M1 Evo 1.1 with a mini-itx motherboard, but now we scale that up to a micro-ATX motherboard. And the next big change is having better support for ATX power supplies. Because one of the problems we had with the previous M1 Evo that people told us is that the sheet metal bracket, like the thinner brackets for the power supplies, they're just not strong enough. So for this version, we just went straight to CNC. So this version, when you hold the power supply bracket in your hand, you'll understand it's way stronger. Like when you, hopefully, you know, when you guys get the product, you hold it in your hand, you get it. You understand what I mean. This thing feels like it can take some bullets. That it's got that tanky feeling.
And I have to just kind of demonstrate. It's got more bass to it.
Right, it's got a mass. So it's hard to describe.
It's very hard to describe, but you can tell, you know, just by the sound. And I don't have the, obviously I don't have the 1.1 here to compare, but this is very much like the kind of the sneak peek, the prototype V2 that we looked at, and I'll leave that video linked up for you guys to reference again, because I think the final kind of specs are pretty similar. Is that power supply bracket similar? That thick CNC one?
Yeah, it's that chunky one.
Okay.
We actually made it more chunky, but
even more chunky.
Yeah, so
Oh, does it support ATX out of the box? Okay, so that's a big change, right? Because there was this adapter that you needed to get the ATX, but right now out of the box, it will support an ATX power supply. And one of the things that I kind of got to see already was how things can go together, like I guess you would call it Legos or Tetris in this case. So you'll see when the case officially is available, some of the options that you can build it up with.
So I think in terms of choice of material, compatibility, the product is finally there. And hopefully when people get it, they'll see why and appreciate why the product took so long. The build quality hopefully will be self-evident. Yeah, this product, if we wanted to launch sooner, it could have been a $300 case plus. And one of the reasons why we took an extra 5 months is I told the team that, you know, we've been doing these expensive cases for over a decade, like over about 10 years now. Like I don't think small form factor needs another $300 case. You know, there are other brands that are doing a really good job at it, and that's something that it's already been done and done very well, and we've already done that for many years. So what we really need for small form factor to kind of bring our passion, like why we enjoy this product to more people, is show them that we need to demonstrate a really great product, right, at a competitive price and with a lot of availability. It's only when you do all three things that the product can actually move the needle. And I really do believe this product is the closest that I've ever done that can actually move the needle for small form factor, which is something, you know, I've been somewhat preaching about, and people know me who knows that I really care. I really want to make a product that matters, and I feel like this product has the true criteria that makes this product matter in the small form factor world.
Can you share any like final specs, like air cooler clearance and then radiator compatibility?
Sure. So it supports the 280 AIO, both on the top and the side, but we will have some pictures of build guides on our website when we do launch, so that, you know, there will be more information to how to go about getting those kind of compatibility. And then in terms of air cooler, technically it supports 144.6 millimeter air cooler height, but I did manage to get a knock to a D12L at 145 millimeter in there. But I will say this though, right now, Peerless Assassin by Thermalright, they have a 135 ml air cooler.
The mini, the 120 mini.
Yeah, I think you tested it. And
I have it, yeah. And I have, that'll be one of our points of discussion for the full review of this case, which will be coming very soon.
Yeah, but so 135 millimeter air cooler in this case is likely gonna be equal, if not better, than the 145 millimeter knock to a D12L. Mostly because the D12L is kind of higher end in terms of price. So you can literally buy the Peerless Assassin, the 135 millimeter tall air cooler, put 2 Noctua fans on there and get to the same price, and you have better performance and you have an extra fans. So I do think 135 millimeter cooler is the better choice for this size of case. Just because of thermal,
we can still do something like the C14S as well.
Right.
Kind of like the best configuration for the M1 Classic. The changes here with the radiator bracket, and then we kind of noted this when we took a preview here. I like this. It's a full panel, kind of like what you would have with the M1 Classic. Is there going to be an option for users that want to run side panel fans, or they want to have the top panel option in addition to maybe a side mount radiator?
Sure. We want to offer that option for customer when they are buying the product. So this one top actually fits on the side as well. It's the same panel, if you will.
They just need to get another one of the same thing.
And one of the reasons, just as a comment, that is thinner compared to the other pieces is because of compatibility. Because you know, some of the guys will be stuffing very thick AIOs in there because I know what they want to do.
Yes.
And if we actually made this thicker, there will be some issue with compatibility, especially with AIOs like the very popular the Liquid Freezer 3 by Arctic, because we also tested internally. So this is why this specific bracket or panel had to be this thickness.
This panel, because it's a full panel, it really doesn't need to be as thick as the kind of half brackets were.
Right.
That was a thicker gauge right there. Front I/O, it's
unibody now.
Unibody, front I/O. I did notice the power button is improved. It's going to be easier to install, easier to maintain. Are we doing 2 USB-C front headers? Or is one pass-through
So because we want to do the unibody front IO, and this is feedback from version M1 Evo version 1.1 and 1.0. We wanted the unibody front IO, so this Type-C, we're going to put a light cover on there, so that there will be typically what you have is a hard drive light color, so that's where the light color is, because we couldn't do a pass-through on this PCB because there was some interference issue with the PCB, especially with high-speed USB 4 or wanting to do some sort of adapter. So for this specific unibody front IO, there would just be a light cover. And just a note, the USB-C will be black colored tongue for the production version. This is just a prototype we have.
Yeah, and so anything you see here, do keep in mind it is it's a prototype still.
Yeah.
So there could be some fit, or not fit, but really more finish, because it has been used and tested and actually transported to get to the venue here. So I wouldn't expect that to be in the final edition. All right, so the other case that we're looking at here is kind of an update to one of my favorite cases, the Formd T1 V2, and this is the T2.5, but it's a different color. Now, it might remind you of that kind of titanium color, but I can assure you that this is something that is very difficult to pull off. This is a gunmetal gray, is that what we're calling it?
Yeah, it's the gunmetal color.
It's absolutely gorgeous, very smooth. I think users will appreciate that. Internally, what are some changes that people can expect on 2.5?
Sure. For 2.5, for starters, we made the surface more smooth. One of the things that for 2.1, 2.0, or even 1.0 is that people told us that the surface feels like sandpaper. And in the industry, we know like the smoother surface that you typically expect from a cell phone or from, let's say, a tablet like the iPad, they're considered a higher grade finish. The smoother the finish, the harder it is to make. So for the longest time, it's been something that really bothered me on a personal level, that the products, the T1s that we were making, were not up to the standards that you would expect from a tablet or smartphone that you hold in your pocket. So and some of the guys that we know we manufacture will also joke with me that my products are made of sandpaper. So that kind of also bothered me on a personal level. So we finally change our supply chain so we can do a higher quality, more premium surface finish that's expected, or industry tier 1 standard. So we had to switch to a tier 1 supplier to get this done. So that's something we're very proud of and we worked really hard on. And now in terms of actual 2.5 structurally, we actually made the case stronger by adding material to it. We also made the case easier to assemble, because now the case is shipping with a power button assembled to the front and the entire rear assembly assembled, so that customers don't have to assemble their power button or deal with rear GPU lock and all this assembly. So just easier to assemble in general. And the last thing we did is that we offer customer one screw that can assemble the entire case, because for a lot of customers, they really can't tell the difference between a countersunk screw hole, or sometimes because they look too similar between a flat head screw hole versus a countersunk. It's very confusing for them following the instruction manual. So effectively allowing for a one screw fits all approach, it just made the entire assembly for the T1 a lot easier. So in terms of quality of life, in terms of fit and finish, the 2.5 is a significant improvement from 2.1. And also we did some refinement on the CNC side mesh panels, and hopefully when customer get it, they will be able to see, there's these little details. We just want to make sure everything is a little more buttoned up and more refined for this iteration. Yeah, and the color is just, I saw this color because I was at another famous cell phone factory and I saw this color, and I told my friend, we're gonna get this color, right? And he told me it cannot be the same because that will get him in trouble, but it could be slightly different. And I said, okay. And this color came out, and the minute I had it in my hand, I know this is the color that can surpass the titanium. And other people have seen it, they understand. And this color has been extremely popular, will be an understatement. Yeah, so the people that do have this color, they know. Yeah, it's basically the darker titanium that a lot of people wanted that we couldn't pull off last year. Like this year, because we have a new supply chain, and now we're doing, we have this new contract, and I can convince them to do this for us. So this has been pretty happy, like a nice goal to have.
And the one thing I noticed about this finish is it's actually very consistent. Normally this one's tricky, right?
Right.
So
gunmetal is the most tricky among the internet.
If it's messed up, you would know, and it's actually even after going over it with just kind of a fine-tooth comb, it's pretty well applied. So
yeah,
I think this one will do quite well. Now, if users do for some reason don't want this color, they'll still have access to the black color. Is that correct?
Yep, black color. Silver color should be coming next month. But this is the one. This is the trophy. This for T1. This color is the trophy. Yeah, it's even. I would argue this is my favorite, even compared to the white color, just because I think the white color is specific to white builds. But this color, yeah, like with typical builds like this, yeah, it has that. It's hard to put into words, but when you see it, you know this is expensive.
Any plans to do a similar white finish or e-white or anything like that?
We would do a white color because I think white color, there are a lot of customers who really want white color for their builds, and I get it. And there are a few white colors I really like, so they should be coming this year.
Something to look forward to.
Right.
I like this one. I think
yeah, this on the
anyone who gets this and likes this color, you're going to be very satisfied with the finish here. Big thanks for W360 joining us here, and it's been actually really, this is probably the most exciting part of Computex so far, seeing these cases in person. Obviously can't wait to build in them, test them out, show you guys. Thanks for joining me here. Please make sure you are subscribed to get these updates because they're coming very soon. And make sure you give a like if you enjoyed it. This has been a Machines More exclusive. Big thanks for watching. See, here's some new products to see here. And that's what we're here for.
Streacom for pranking us. So.
I'm gonna tag them, Streacom. But I've been in weirder settings before, but this is probably the weirdest place I've checked out a computer case at. This, we'll just go with it. Okay, so.